Good morning. I did not want to crawl out of bed today. Oh, I was tired after all that piping and everything yesterday. But our traveler should be done in about 15 minutes. Although I did wake up at about 3:30 this morning with the fear that I didn't fill the gas tank on the traveler gas engine. I hope it didn't run out of gas overnight, because if it did, it's been sitting in one spot for who knows how long. So, yeah, we're going to get some gas and take it up there along with a battery. And hope that it's still running. Get it moved for the next run. See how things go here. Definitely time for batteries in the sprayer. Sits more than a day, you gotta jump it. Not good. Okay, good news, we're close here. It's not quite all the way in, I don't think, but it's very close to the reel, which is where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be done in about 10 minutes. I don't know how close it is, but it didn't shut down in the middle of the night. It kept moving and we put water on. I'd have to do the math. I gotta set up a new spreadsheet for tracking all this stuff, which I have not done yet, but I would assume we were putting on somewhere in the 1.25 inch ballpark when we slowed it down last night. So we'll go out and take a look. Pump still running, traveler still reeling itself in. Yeah, that's good. That's excellent. Swapped out the battery. So that one there, it's not a bad battery, it just needs charged. It's a deep cycle marine battery that I forgot to charge it. So we'll take that home and do that. This one is good, and our Farm HQ box is working. So it takes a few minutes for it to get fired up and turned on like it needs to be, and get GPS signal and all of that kind of stuff. But it should do it, and then I'll explain all of that stuff later. But that's a really cool system. 64 pounds at the gun. That'll get better as we move past, get back, closer to the pump, and we eliminate that leak that we got there. That's costing us some pressure here, but it's okay. We're putting water on. All right, it has just about made it in. Now's where my Farm HQ boxes come in handy, because the one on the pump has been working, and I should be able to log in on my phone and kill the pump from here. Now I can't show you that because I'm using my phone to record and do it, but if the pump shuts off and I'm still here, you'll know it worked. Oh, it worked! Yes, I love that thing. That's fantastic. So, all right, we're gonna turn this so it puts the water out there. We probably need to close our valve. It's about done reeling itself in. We gotta pick up our stabilizer legs, spin this thing around. We're gonna pull it that way. So we got her flipped around, and we're pulling. All right, back in the center. Basically a full pull. 1,210 feet. We're just a little shorter than the last one. I was getting close enough to the road anyway. I'll turn my lights off. So so that box there's got some batteries in it. There's a switch on it. I put some lights in the reel. See that green one there? And there's a yellow one there, and there's a red one on the back side that may or may not be uncovered yet, but they kind of stagger their way across. And my goal there was that when I pull this out at night, you can't see that at all, the reel. And so when you can see the lights, you can kind of have a pretty good idea of where you're at pulling it out. And when you see a red one, you best stop. And that works pretty well. Because you can see them from 1/4 mile away. So, all right, we gotta take the gator over to the pump and get her fired up. Pumping. Now the pipe is mostly full. Some of the water drains out when it shuts down, but it doesn't take nearly as long to fill it. And so it should come up to pressure pretty quick. And if we can get the right angle, since our gun is up by the road, we should be able to see it. Way off there in the distance somewhere. There it comes. Okay, cool. Appears that our fertilizer is working well. We were at 300 when we started. We're down to, call it 230-ish gallons left in there. We're putting on 7 gallons to the hour. So if we put on 70 gallons, 10 hours, we're maybe a little light, but not too bad. Okay, got her started reeling in. This one will be done a little after 6 tonight, so we'll find something else to do for the day. Yeah, the wind is definitely going to blow our pattern around today. There's not much we can do about that, so it is what it is. I wonder how bad we're getting the road. Clearly some. I'm going to wait for that to go by and then go back because our driveway's over there. Nope, we're going to go now. I'm going to go under it. Ah. All right, we are back here. Dad is going to load up the sprayer. He's got some, he's spraying beans, post-emerge on beans. So he's just trying to get a load or two done in the morning before the wind picks up too much. He's going to do that. I've got some boxes to pick up. So we're going to go pick up some boxes. So I have just got 2 boxes that we need to pick up today. And 2 boxes will fit in the bed of a truck. And I am done with the trailer. Like, I have no more boxes to pick up with the trailer. So we're going to unhook it. This one's a little ways away. Or east of Toledo. We'll get to survey some of the tornado damage, it sounds like. So I don't want to drag the trailer all the way over there if I don't have to. We'll just throw them in the back of the truck on the way back, strap them in. So we're going to go to the farm, unhook that. We also need a new tank of government juice. Our DEF tote is empty, and our supplier where we've been buying that is kind of on the way to Berkey. I'm going to take the empty tote back to him, pick up a full one, just drop it at our Berkey farm there. All right, we got our empty tote. Let's head out and see what we see today. Well, there's some of our Berkey crops. Beans look good. I mean, it is very dry here as well. Last week when we had 6/10, last week? 2 weeks ago? Whenever it rained and we had the 6/10 back at Waldron, we had like 8/10 here, so we got just a little bit more. All beans and wheat, no corn here, so you know, there's that, I guess. These beans, they're about the same. They may be just a little bit bigger than some of the ones at Waldron, but these are also all of our early beans. They're all at 2.2 maturity, and we're going to plant all of the bean ground down here to wheat next year. So the idea is to start harvesting here in the fall, get all the wheat planted early. So I know it's June, but they're running out of time, right? Those beans have to get big and start flowering soon because they're going to mature starting the end of August, 1st of September. By Labor Day, I expect to see them turning yellow. So we're going to need them to grow and put some pods on soon. Ooh, look at that nice new barn roof. Nice. Fancy. Looks good. Anyway, our wheat is turning rapidly. Very, very, very fast because it's drying, just dying mostly. But yeah, I don't know if this wheat is going to be any good or not. Honestly, have no idea. I don't think it's going to be great. I don't think it's going to be terrible. We got some kernels. Almost got a lot of the hull on it yet, but there's wheat berries in there. This is very hard to do one-handed. Let me get one out. Right there, got a couple of kernels. Got a lot of drying to do yet, but things are turning fast. I would estimate, let's see, today's Wednesday, maybe a week and a half out. Like not this weekend, the following weekend, maybe. That little tote is heavy. I don't know what DEF weighs per gallon, but if it was 9 pounds, we almost 2,500 pounds. It might be in that ballpark. We do got to get our bean head back to Waldron. We're going to start with wheat at Waldron. Finish down here. That's the plan, because we're going to start with beans down here. We don't have a ton to do to it, but we do need to probably put new knives on, new cutter bars. So that's next week's plan, to get it back and work on that stuff. We'll get there. Got a little bit of a mess to clean up here yet. So last week, I don't remember when it was, but we put a new roof on from that peak all the way that way. And haven't gotten it all cleaned up yet. We haven't finished everything. We obviously need a ridge cap yet. It's sitting over there. We just haven't had time to get to it. And Dad's going to keep working on fascia board and soffit on the old part here. We did not replace these two sides of the hip roof. We're going to paint that steel and make it look nice as well. But yeah, you can see all our new 2x4s that we put on there. It was a little nerve-wracking working up there with open all the way down underneath here. No mouths in here anymore. So Dad does have new steel for this side of the barn. That's also here and ready to be put on at any time. It's just getting time to do it. And we would like to do that side. Obviously that siding is in pretty rough shape. It needs to be replaced. So you can only do so much. But yeah, you can see up into the mow there. All of that roof got replaced as well. Put new 2x4s on everything, so we had good stuff to nail or screw the siding to. So this barn is, it's, you know, obviously the old part is very old. I think we decided like 1910 it was put up. I'm not sure when this lean-to addition was put on. That one over there, the cattle barn, we call it, was 58. Maybe this was 58. And that was 78. Something like that. I don't know. It's been a long time. It's been here. And so, you know, it's not the most functional open barn. It's not like our K building that's big open square footage and space, but there's a lot of square footage under roof here, and we can get some equipment in here to store it, you know, like our air seeder, our corn head, and our bean head, and we usually have a semi-trailer or two over there. And so while it's not the most functional barn, it is incredibly useful for us and would cost $250,000 to replace the square footage, especially everything's concrete floor. You know, again, not the nicest concrete in the world, but heck, this is pretty good. This works. So we're going to take care of it. We're going to keep the barn in nice shape, keep it from falling down, use it. Plus there's a little bit of a sentimental family component to it. So yeah. This is the farm where my dad grew up. In the house and buildings and stuff here, we used to have a couple of silos there. We've done a lot of improvements and stuff on it in the last 10 years. Yeah, so a lot of times you'll hear me in my videos refer to our Berkey farm. This is what I mean. This is our Berkey farm, my grandpa's place. You know, we've got a grain system, we've got the barn, we've got several hundred acres of crops right around here. We're about 35 miles east of our home farm, but with enough stuff to make it worth the trip, and different ground, and diversifies our weather risk a little. And yeah, it's flat, good, beautiful ground down here. So that's what we got. All right, so back in April, you'll remember that, oh my gosh, I delivered a couple of boxes of soybeans to a customer that's east of Toledo. It's a long ways away from where I typically am selling at and stuff. I mentioned about their sort of mini climate here. They're right off the lake shore, very different. Well, on, what was it, Friday night last week, there was one day, I think it was last Thursday, where there was some storms that popped up, and I was really hoping to get some rain out of it, and we totally missed it. But some of them storms popped up to the north and east of us, and they came down through and caught the eastern edge of Toledo and came through here. And these guys had a tornado. I've seen very little damage to this point, but it appears to have run on an angle coming from the opposite direction. And this farm got devastated. It's bad. It's really bad. I'll show you. So this is where we're at, and somehow this place is basically unharmed. A little bit of that one shed roof, but the place that I delivered seed to, their barns are gone. There was a huge barn there. It's gone. Worrying about a couple of seed boxes here seems a little petty. But I'll get them up, get them out of here at least, and get them out of their way if nothing else. And yeah, wow. A couple boxes. We're gonna fold these down and get them put in the truck. We're missing a lid. Imagine that, there's a lid missing. And then I think we're gonna show you around here a little bit when we're done with this. All right, so we came out to look at his beans out here in this field a little bit. We're right by the barn there. And can you tell how the beans are nice and green up by the road? And then they're not, and then they're nice and green back there. I don't know how well that shows up on the camera here. This is the path of the tornado. Like, it literally, you can see the damage in the farm or the building site. After I move my hand down the road there, it came right through here and right through, and then the trees, there's a little clearing over there where it went through, and it just caught this farm right in the middle of it. So we were looking at the beans here at some of the damage, because you can see everything. The wind kind of blew it across. Some of these are going to come back, right? There's some leaves there. These are going to grow back a little bit, but he was asking about replanting and trying to patch some of this in so that, I don't know. This is a tough one for me, because some of these are going to grow back, but it's not going to be a perfect stand. And I think coming in with some beans, maybe planting across the rows or trying to split the middles of the 30-inch rows here would be a good idea to try and get some quicker canopy closure, right? We're June 21st. Today's the longest day of the year. Ideally, our beans are pushing canopy right now. We're not there yet, because we've been too dry, but you do everything you can to help it. And this is a wide enough area. He said the National Weather Service said the tornado was 200 feet wide, or 200 yards wide?
Yards, yeah.
200 yards. This looks like more than 200 yards to me, but it's something like that. You can see exactly where it ran, and it just missed that building site there. It's amazing how defined the path is right here. So we might go look around the buildings. He said he wouldn't mind that at all. So you can see the house, the west side of it there, all the windows, and it kind of lifted the roof and did quite a bit of damage in there. But salvageable. Foundation was all good, he said, and nothing that's going to have to get replaced there. I don't know that any of the barns are going to have anything left. There was a big barn there where all that equipment is. Was all that equipment inside it, or did you park it after it's...
Yeah, a lot of the equipment was inside there.
It was inside there and just kind of gone. And obviously the other barn, the shop, the doors and sides are all gone. Still kind of have a frame, but I don't think that's going to be salvageable either. And yeah, not good. He's got a bunch of fertilizer tanks there that they must be full. Otherwise, they would be a mile away, I'm pretty sure. So whatever's in them held them down pretty well. But he did say the block wall was partially pushed in from the storm. They've done some cleanup and stuff to taking care of part of that. And what was there? Something.
Just the old milk house.
Old milk house. Okay. That, yeah, you can see it's gone for the most part. So much for working inside in the shade here. Their shop, that it's not much here anymore. Wow. That barn. So second look here, this building right outside there, what used to be a shop, actually isn't too bad. A little tin off the top, looks like one post maybe there, gone, but it's maybe salvageable. But he says my boxes were sitting right here. How? Right here. They didn't go anywhere, I have no idea, but apparently that sheltered them just enough in the concrete bunker here that they aren't in the woods over there. I've got my drone with me, so we may throw that up and do a little damage survey from the air. But if I walk past the end of the bunker here and zoom in on the trees, you'll see where everybody's stuff is. See that? Yeah. That's gonna be a mess. All right, man, just totally devastating here on this farm and buildings and everything. They've done a fantastic job of cleaning up debris out in the fields, getting everything cleaned up. You can see how much was in the woods over there, though. Some of that stuff it's either going to have to wait or you're just never going to get it. Said they had 10 barns plus the house there. Every barn is pretty much a loss. There is the one old calf barn, they said it was. It could probably be salvaged, and part of the real old barn there, the timber frame is solid, but there's a big lean-to on it. The roof joists are all cracked, and the one side fell in, and it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to salvage much of anything there. Huge inconvenience and cost and everything for them, and hopefully it all works out in the end. They did have, I don't know if it's one of their employees or neighbors or somebody had cows in the barn. They said they had 500 cattle here when the storm blew through. They were all loose. The community came together to help get them corralled somewhere. The part of the problem was they didn't have anywhere to put them. But yeah, look at this. Looking down the rows, you can see where it just, all of a sudden, there's no leaves. There's nothing there. And then it picks up again on the far end of the field. That's the tornado path. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. The guy's wife was home when it happened. He said she looked out the window and kind of saw it coming across the field and hurried into the basement. And it wasn't 20 seconds later that the windows all broke out in the house. So thank God for that. Yeah. I got some drone footage here you guys want to see, circling around a little bit. And he did give me these pictures. Here, we'll show you those first. Before and after drone pictures or aerial pictures that they had taken. So you can see what this place looked like before. Just crazy. Neighbor's place here, really rough shape as well. They lost their barns. Kind of came through on just a little bit of an angle from the southwest to the northeast, it looks like. They said, I think I said they were 200 feet wide and, or 200 yards wide, ran 3.8 miles. So, not good. Not good. Thankfully, I've never been through anything like that, and I don't want to go through anything like that. So, all right, back to the farm we go. Here's some drone video. Unloaded. We're gonna go up and just check on the Traveler. It should not be done yet, but we'll just go take a look at stuff, and we're gonna do a little field scouting while we're up there. I've got a field just across the road from where we're irrigating. It's one where we did 2 different fungicides on our V5 corn, the split trial there, and I want to go take a look at that and flag the split. The chemical rep that asked me to do the one fungicide, the different fungicide, stopped by today, and he said he thinks he can find it and see it visually, but he doesn't know where it's at. So I'm gonna go see if he was right or not. Oofta. So the wind is really screwing up our pattern, but this was watered this morning. I got my shovel. I really need a real shovel. I should go. I think we got one back by the river. We get a real shovel. Yeah, that Traveler was sitting right here when we drove under it this morning. You can see it's a little damp here, but it's drying out fast. It's drying out real fast. We should have put close to an inch of rain on here this morning. Sure don't feel like it. Ay, ay, ay. Well, what are you gonna do? Yeah, that water is all mostly landing in the field, but it's landing behind it because the wind is blowing it. East wind. It's so rare for us to have east wind, and it has been all spring. All spring we've had an east wind. 380 feet to go. That seal leaking. That is not good. Well, maybe our neighbor's getting most of our water. Frustrating. Anyway, I brought up a rain gauge with the intent of sticking it out here and seeing how much we're actually putting on. The issue here is going to be getting it in the ground. I'm not sure I can stick this into this ground without breaking stuff. We'll go right in the seed row, so at least there's a chance. Let's see if that stays and see if anything actually falls in it or just blows past. There's a lot of yellow leaves right here. I wonder if that's potassium deficiency showing up. I'm going to text a picture to my agronomist. Can you tell a difference from one side of this picture to the other? I don't think I can. One side of the road that I'm walking in was treated with fungicide. The other side was not. Is there a difference? Yeah. Very minor if there is. This is our treated side. This is our untreated check. Treated, untreated. I don't know. It's shown up in the past on the yield monitor. I don't know if you can ever visually see it, but I can see it in the yield monitor, and that's what's important. So, this was the Travapro, the premium fungicide. I'm going to walk that way until I find where I used my A-frame, the generic cheap fungicide. We'll see if we notice anything there, which we won't, but we'll have that strip side-by-side comparison, two different fungicides versus untreated. Well, 120 feet over. The corn looks better over here. It's bigger, but we're also in more of a low ground pocket that it's different. Now, it almost, to me, and maybe I'm just seeing things because I want to, looks like this side is not rolled up as much as this side. So this is our untreated check before we get to the other fungicide that we just looked at. This is our cheaper generic A-frame. I mean, this corn is rolling, and this is starting to roll, but maybe not as much. I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing things that I want to see, and that's not actually there, but potentially there's a difference. Well, while we're here, let's talk about it and see what we've got. We've got remarkably well-looking corn for as dry as we are. That's what we have. Okay, so we started our bottom leaf that is starting to burn up. Rounded tip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll call that V8. I counted one back here that was 7, but the 8th one is just about there. So I would call this V7 to V8 corn. I guess you could call it V8 because the 8th leaf collar is visible. We have made knee high. So we're going to make knee high by the 4th of July. This corn should be pushing shoulder high by now or better. We should be tasseling by the 4th of July, and I don't think we're going to make it because it's growing so slowly. That we're just kind of really short corn. We're getting some stalk girth starting to fill out a little bit. I noticed somewhere right here, you can see those nodal roots. Oh, you can't because of the leaf in the way. You can see those nodal roots starting out there. They're moving up the plant. I'm sure we have a pretty substantial root system below ground. We don't have shovels to be able to dig through our hard ground to find it. There you can see some more of those nodal roots. I don't think it looks bad. It just really needs some rain. We're going to start knocking potential off of this corn. Well, we already have, but it's just going to get more and more severe the longer we go. Now, this hybrid, this is Golden Harvest 10L16. This one is an Agrisure Artesian hybrid. It has got our drought tolerance. It's not really a GM trait. It's just drought tolerance markers, genetic markers that Golden Harvest believes make this hybrid more drought tolerant than some of the other hybrids that we sell. So it should handle this stress a little bit better. Now Now on the flip side of that, this is a very high flex hybrid. It's a flex ear. It's the size of the ears on this hybrid will change pretty drastically depending on environmental conditions, planting population, that kind of stuff. This is the one that I had in my plot last year where we did a 28, 34, and 40,000 plant population study, and at 28,000 it threw these massive huge ears, but at 40,000 they were little itty bitty tiny ears that didn't yield very well. Well, I shouldn't say that, just it didn't maintain ear size like the other hybrid that was there. Now that said, we didn't plant this overly thick, but we're having weather conditions that are putting it under stress, so hopefully we get some rain and maintain ear size, and we don't flex those ears way down because it's too stressed and it can't support as big of an ear. Nothing I can do about it. All right, well, we're back here. I've got a little bit of time before I need to go up and move that Traveler, but we're gonna need to take some fuel up with us. And do you know what that means? That means we get to get the new Boss fuel trailer out and actually use it for the first time. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna walk down to my secret house and get my Chevy truck, 3/4-ton truck. Do a little better to pull that around with than my half-ton truck. So I'm gonna go walk down here, come down, we'll hook it up. We gotta fill it. So we're just gonna fill the whole thing up. We'll probably just take it and set it out there right next to the generator. And then every day we'll fill the generator and pump it off of it. So it should work pretty well. I should water my sweet corn again. It's about dry enough for that to happen. And plant the last planting. It's also time for that to happen. Oh yeah, I'm kind of excited about this. Let's see. Oh no, did I leave the key on and kill the battery? Nope, didn't turn it on. Oh, it might not be lined up. There we go. Oh man, that's so nice. Done, hooked up. Okay, we got to do the chains and the power, but let's pull her out and fill it up. This is awesome. This one's gonna take a minute. 590 gallons, in she goes. I just walked back out here. Oh, we timed that up real good. See if it clicks off. We're tipped back a little bit. This truck, I don't have a drop in the receiver hitch, so it sits high. I should lower this or move it up to the next two holes. It would help. But I don't know if we'll always pull with this truck. I don't know. Dad's truck's got a drop. My Ram sits lower. Oh, it's bigger than advertised. That or our meter is wrong. One of those two things is true. Ooh, it's almost full. Alright, probably got it full enough. Got a gauge on it. Nice. She's full. 610 according to our gauge. I don't trust it though. And we are tipped back from the fill. It's possible. It's possible. Probably overfilled it. Voided the warranty. It's all good. Water's still pumping. It's about done. Got a few feet to go. We'll get our generator fueled up, take care of this trailer, and then head out there and see where it's at. It's dirty now. Pulls really nice. Like smooth for as bumpy as it is getting back here. It pulled really smooth, and I like that. Key. Where's the key? Right there. Turn that on. Put the leg down. Get her unhooked here. So I got it way tipped back just to level it, but check it out, super easy to level it when we're unhooked because the draw is in the front, so you don't want it leaning clear back. Not that it would matter when it's clear full, but eventually it would. Something like that. Just let her sit there and fill up our generator. So let's see. Pull the hose out. Oh, it's so nice. Should be enough. Okay, we got our hose in the thing there. I did put gas in. Let's see. We need it on. fuel on, choke on. Ready? Wonder if there's a valve. It's open. Fuel trailers, I don't like that. I had to get it primed, and we had air pressure in the or air in the line, and it exploded in my face. That won't ever happen again because now it's primed. It's faster than the pump at home that we used to fill it. I know that. This is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. 94 gallons. Been running for 24 hours. A little over 24 hours. We're just shy of 4 gallons an hour. I don't know, is that a lot? Doesn't feel horrible to me. Okay, got that unhooked, filled up, done. I cleaned out the screen on the injector pump, the filter there, because I was concerned about some of the trash that I saw in the fertilizer tank when I was pumping it in there, but it was pretty clean, so that's good. So we're gonna go on out to the to the Traveler, and wait for it to get done and get it moved. So nice thing with my Farm HQ stuff is that I can shut it down remotely, so I can shut it down from out there, although it might do it itself. I'm hoping that now that I've got a good battery on and the Traveler side of it is working, it will send the signal and shut the pump down when it stops reeling itself in. That would be awesome, but we will see. We might be able to walk out and check my rain gauge that we placed earlier, because I'm pretty sure it's past that. The wind is still wreaking havoc with our spread pattern, but there's not much I can do about it. So, yeah, all is good. All is good, I guess. Yeah, here's the problem with the wind. You can see right here is about how far it is spraying. We aren't even close to halfway to that tractor from where that's sitting. We're getting much, much more coverage that way than this way. That's a problem, because when we make this next pass, it's going to be overnight. There probably won't be any wind, and there's going to be a strip here that doesn't get any water. Oh well, not a whole lot I can do about it. It looks like we're getting plenty on here. I mean, heck, there's water setting. I'm surprised how long it's sitting on the surface. My rain gauge is over here. I'm going to get muddy, but we're going to get to it. Oh, that's shooting farther than I thought. I think it's done getting to it. Yeah. It's a lot of water that falls in one spot. I do know that. Yeah, right where we're supposed to be. 8/10. Focus. There we go. According to the math, we should be putting out 0.87 inches. Because we're 2 foot a minute. Pressure, yeah. We're pretty darn close. You know what would make this video really good? So I have lots of potential titles for this video already. I'm always thinking of what am I going to name this video? And we've got first full day of irrigation. We've got first time using the Boss fuel trailer today. We've got the storm damage survey, which is the leading candidate, I think, right now. But you know what would unseat it? If we get stuck trying to move our Traveler. That's a lot of water there. We got to drive through that with a 4020 that doesn't currently have a diff lock. Oh gosh, if we get stuck, that would just be icing. Oh man. Oh, let's not let that happen. Ah, sorry you can't see me. It's misty. It's done. It's reeled itself in. I'm waiting. I'm going to give it a minute here and see if the control box shuts the pump down, or I'll log in and do it myself. But it should do it itself. It just has to be stopped for 30 seconds or a minute to not sense any motion before it will actually shut itself down. Yeah. It worked. It worked. It worked. Okay. We got to disconnect our pipe. We got to, no, we don't even need to spin it because we're pulling it straight forward and pulling it out the same way. Sweet. I already got the gun cart lifted up. I am going to pull this first pipe apart because that one's leaking really bad. And I have a new seal right there. We'll move our end cap one place. It'll be fine. All right. Let's see if we can do this without getting stuck. Oh, it's muddy. It's real muddy. Okay. We made it. Oh, everything's an adventure. Also, the tractor wouldn't start there briefly. I didn't film it because I was frustrated, but I think we got some water and a connection by the starter. I pulled a bunch of stuff apart, blew on it, and put it back together, and then it went. So, I don't know, whatever. Run number 3. Another full pull overnight. Brought the tractor back after we got done pulling it out. We made it across our bridge, and we're by the pump, so we are going to start it up and get our prime, push the button. My lights worked well here. I saw that red one when I was pulling it out, and I'm like, okay, gotta stop. So 1,222 feet. Let her go. All right, so the math on this one here, if we go at 2 foot per minute, it's a 10-hour pull. It's 7:15 now. That would be 5:15 a.m. We slow it down to 20 inches a minute instead of 24, and it's 7:30. So do that. So we'll be back here in the morning first thing, just like we were today. All right. I'm done. Just barely got the road. Should be fine. Have fun. Go all night. Party hard. See you in the morning. Okay, one more thing. So, today is June 21st. Today is the longest day of the year. It is the summer solstice. There is a goal that I have every year for our soybean crop. Well, 2 things. One, I would like to be as close to canopy closure as possible. We didn't make it here, 30-inch rows. This is the field right across the road from the farm. Had we had more rain and they grew, we would be closer. We probably still wouldn't be canopied in these 30-inch rows. Some of our 15-inch rows are getting close. Those early planted beans in good dirt that grew, they're close to canopy closure. So that is good. The other thing that I really want is flowers. I want our beans to be entering reproductive phases on the longest day of the year. I have not found any until now. Right there, buddy. It's just one, but it's a flower. It's not the only one I've seen out here, but they are not super prevalent. Right there. Soybeans flowering June 21st. That is awesome. Oh, there's one. 2. Look at that. Ha-ha! Yes. Winning. They're growing. I know it doesn't seem like it, but they are growing. It's just they're small leaves and very slowly. So, let's see. Trifoliate 1, 2, 3. Working on 4. These are our 2.5 beans that were planted April 15th, something like that. So I figured this was, if we're gonna have any flowers anywhere, it would be this field. They're the earliest beans planted, the earliest. We got some. We'll see. We're getting there. All right, now I'm going home. So thanks for watching today. Hit the like and subscribe buttons if you would, please. If you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. And I will see you again in the morning. I don't know what we're going to be doing all entirely, keeping the water and moving. But other than that, we will see. Thinking of you guys out there if the storm damaged my seed customer there. Man, devastating to have to go through that. But glad nobody was hurt and that it wasn't any worse than it was, although it seems pretty bad. So it's dry here, but we didn't lose a lot of stuff in a tornado, so that's good. Anyway, have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.